How are you, boys? Are you fine? Okay. Today we will discuss expense which is paid or must be paid in future. Okay. Expense is known as expense which is already paid or must be paid in future for having any service from anyone. That is expense which is already paid or must be paid in future for having any service from anyone. Okay, that is expense. We are discussing about expense today. Expense. Next question is debit and credit ascertaination. How can you ascertain debit and credit? Boys, how can we ascertain debit and credit? There is a golden rules for ascertaining debit and credit. Do you remember the rules? If asset increase, then which one is debited? For asset increase,
Debit.
asset is debit. As a result, if we purchase furniture, then what account will be debited? Furniture account will be debited and cash will be reduced. As a result, cash will be credited. Opposite of asset is liability. For liability increase, what will be debited? For liability increase, liability is credited, and any decrease of liability, then liability is debited. For example, for credit purchase, creditors will be increased. As a result, creditors account will be credited. If you pay creditors in cash, then creditors will be decreased. Then creditors will be debited. For any expense increase at any source, that is debited. For example, for salary payment, insurance premium payment, all will be debited. Okay. For any income, since expense is debited, income will be credited. Any house rent received from anyone, in that case, what will be credited? Any house rent received from anyone, rent account will be credited. What was the formula of owner's equity? Do you remember? For capital brought in, owner's equity will be increased. As a result, capital account will be credited. For any drawings, owner's equity will be decreased. As a result, drawings account will be debited. Now, come to our PowerPoint today. Do you see the PowerPoint, boys? Do you see the PowerPoint? Cash brought in taka 90,000 and goods brought in taka 9,500 as capital. Is there any expense? There is no expense. Rent due, that is expense. Rent due 2,000 will be an expense. Bought machinery 6,000. Is it an expense? No. This is not an expense. This is an asset. because it will be used for a long period of time. It will be used for a long period of time. As a result, machinery is not an expense. Remember it, machinery is not an expense. Paid loan to Samir, is it an expense? This is also not an expense because loan was taken earlier and now loan is paid. By loan payment, liability will be decreased. Liability and expense, is liability and expense all the same? No. Receive loan from bank, is it an expense? That is also not expense. Opened a bank account with taka 5,000. Bank balance will be increased and cash will be decreased. Here assets accounts are related. Bank account asset, cash account is an asset also. Okay. But on June 1st, cash brought in 90,000 and goods brought in 9,500 as capital. Goods, for goods we debit purchase account. As a result, purchase is an expense. Goods brought in is an expense. So, you will write the answer of A this way. Okay? Do you see the answer of A? Answer of A is goods brought in and rent due 2,000, total 11,000 is known as expense. We will write this way. We will draw a box using pencil, okay, and we will write this way answer of A. Goods brought in 9,000 and rent due 2,000. So, you will write 9,500. If goods bought is 9,500, then you will write 9,500. Okay. Have you any question from this? From first slide, have you any question? For okay, you ask question. What is your question?
So when the bank account was open, so how did it become expense?
That is not an expense. For opening bank account, your bank balance will be increased and bank balance will be increased. Okay. So, bank account will be debited. Your question was a bank account was opened. As a result, bank balance will be increased. Okay. Bank balance will be increased and so bank account will be debited and next cash account will be decreased. As a result, cash will be credited. Have you any question from slide A?
No, sir.
Any other question, boys? Next, if your requirement is ascertainment of debit and credit, then how will you answer? You will, are you seeing the slide? Seeing the slide of ascertainment of debit and credit, you will write this way. Okay. For cash brought in, you will Draw two columns. One column is transaction and other is debit and credit. Cash brought in 90,000. Goods brought in 9,500 as capital. As a result, cash account will be debited. Purchase account for goods brought in, purchase account will be debited. Okay? And what is brought in at the beginning? Known as capital. As a result, total capital will be how much? 99,500. For question B, you have been asked to ascertain debit and credit. You will write this way. Rent due. Rent is an expense. Rent account debit and it is not paid. As a result, due rent credit. Rent account debit, due rent credit. For machinery purchase, asset will be increased. Name of the asset is machinery. Account debit, cash will be decreased. As a result, cash account credit. Paid loan to Samir. Liability will be decreased. Loan account debit and cash will be decreased. As a result, cash will be credited. Received loan from bank. If you take any loan from bank, your bank balance will be increased. Because if you take any loan, from bank, in that case, your bank account will be increased. As a result, bank account, you have to pay it in future. But if you take loan from bank, your bank account will be increased. As a result, bank account will be debited and loan taken is a liability. As a result, bank loan will be credited. Okay? Opened a bank account with taka 5,000. Your bank balance will be increased. As a result, bank account will be debited and cash account will be credited. Have you any question from here, boys? Have you any questions? If you have any question, you can ask me from second slide. For requirement C, what has been asked to prove A equals L plus E. You have to prove the statement. A equals L plus E. You have to prove the statement. Okay. Now you can see the slide. Which slide? You can see slide C. Can you see it, boys? Can you see the slide? Can you see? For answer C, you have to draw columns this way: cash, machinery, others. Why are these columns? Because by these transactions, cash may be increased or decreased, machinery may be increased or decreased, and others column, in others column, we will write others data. Rent due, loan, others, owner's equity. Okay? And in the question, you have been asked to prove A equals L plus E, considering only first 4 transactions. Conveyed, considering only first 4 transactions. For first transaction, cash will increase 90,000 and goods brought in, that is an expense. As a result, owner's equity will be decreased 9,500 and capital was 99,500. As a result, owner's equity will be increased. So, after June 1st, cash balance is 90,000, cash balance is 90,000 and owner's equity balance, what will be owner's equity balance? Owner's equity balance is how much? Owner's equity balance is how much? 99,500. Listen to me, boys. Next transaction was rent due 2000. Rent is an expense. As a result, owner's equity will be decreased and rent due is a liability. As a result, at rent due column, you will add 2000 and balance after June 5th, cash 90,000, rent due 2000, owner's equity 90,000 minus 2000 equals 88,000. Next, June 8th, machinery purchase, cash will be decreased. As a result, in cash column minus 6,000 and machinery will be increased. As a result, machinery column 6,000 will be plus. Okay. Cash balance will be 84,000, 90,000 minus 6,000, 84,000, machinery 6,000, rent due 2,000 and owner's equity 88,000. Last transaction is of 16th, Taka 4,000 paid for loan, cash will be decreased. Okay. As a result, in cash column you will deduct 4,000 and in loan column you will deduct 4,000. So, cash balance is 80,000, machinery 6,000, which equals A 86,000. A equals 86,000 and L plus E side 2,000 minus 4,000 plus 88,000 and L plus E equals 86,000. As a result, we can prove that A equals L plus E, proved. Now, ask me questions. Have you any questions, boys?
No, sir.
If you have any question, you can ask me. Have you any question, boys? For to prove A equals L plus E, you have to write this way. You will draw columns and we have to show A equals this one and L plus E equals this one. As a result, A equals L plus E. If you would ask to show the effect of accounting transaction, then you can also write this way. Have you any question, boys? If you would have any question, you can ask me and you can see the slide again from the beginning. If you have any question, you can see the slide from the very beginning.
Can we get some time to write?
Sure, you can write and for have you any question from second slide? Now see again second slide from Imran, be straight. Have you any question from second slide? Add third slide. Have you any question from third slide? So, this is an important topic to prove A equals L plus E. We will draw columns, machinery columns was drawn because machinery will be increased for purchasing machinery. If you purchase furniture, then what column will be drawn? If you purchase furniture, then what column will be drawn? Furniture column. If you purchase computer, then what column will be drawn? Office equipment. That is not office supplies. Office equipment. That is not machinery which is used for office purpose, especially for office purpose, that is known as office equipment. And have you any other questions, boys? Have you any questions? Okay, we will see again on next class. Thank you, boys.